engines. This is the Women's Motorsports Network. From dirt track nights to the bright race lights, from the garage to victory lane. Women are rising, chasing the dream with horsepower running through their veins. Women's Motorsports Network. Hear those engines roar. Stories of courage, speed, and heart, like you've never heard before. Fuel her future, fuel her dreams. Every lap we celebrate. Women's Motorsports Network. Let's hit the track. Let's hit the track. Women's Motorsports Network. Connecting and celebrating women in motorsports. One story at a time.
Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention in racing. Lift and jack safety. We spend so much time focused on what happens on the track, but what happens in the shop or at the track matters just as much. That's where Freedom Race Lifts comes in. They're on a mission to provide safer, more efficient, and innovative battery-operated vehicle lifts and jacks built specifically for racers, teams, and home mechanics. No hoses to trip over, no complicated setups. Just dependable, safer lifting power designed to keep you safe while you work. And here's what I love most. They're already huge supporters of women in motorsports, helping create opportunities and safer environments for racers of all ages. So whether you're wrenching in your garage or at the track, make safety part of your routine. Freedom Race Lifts, because being fast is great, but being safe is everything. Visit freedomracelifts.com today. Saving lives one lift at a time. Use coupon code Melinda at checkout for a special discount. Ladies, are you tired of fumbling for your phone like a bad pit stop? Shift into gear with Save the Girls, the stylish touchscreen purse that keeps your phone in the driver's seat. No more digging through your bag during a caution lap. Text, scroll, and snap pictures without ever pulling your phone out. It's track tested, fan approved, and built for women who live life in the fast lane. Head to SaveTheGirls.com and grab yours today, because when life's at full throttle, your phone should be too. Save the Girls. Gear up in style. Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, and I have a very familiar face with me today, and I'm so excited to have Maddi Gordon with me today. I followed Maddi for quite some time, back before many of you knew who she was, because I follow kids and girls, especially when they are first starting out racing, and I had run across her name, and we just never had a chance to connect, but we're going to talk today, and I'm glad it worked out this way, Maddi, because we've got a great story to share today with our listeners. So why don't you start by just sharing a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. I've been really excited about this. But, Maddi Gordon, I'm from Paso Robles, California. I'm a third-generation race car driver. Both my sister and I, both third generation. My grandfather drove, my dad drives, and then both me and my sister drive. We're kind of what I like to say, just your racing family. We love race cars. We do it for fun and now for a living myself. So it's been an absolute blessing. We have always been based in California. My family has a residential cabinet shop here in town. It's a local business, and they've been in business for over 50 years, which
Wow.
is a very exciting. I worked there for 4 years and did sales prior to coming and becoming a professional race car driver. We've we love it. We got we got a cat, which he's technically my cat, but we got a cat named Ballsy and a dog named Gunner, and those are our pride and joys here at home. So
Okay.
that's kind of a little storybook of my personal life.
Yeah, that's cool. And when you were a little girl growing up, Maddi, did you play with cars even when you were a little girl, or were you the typical Barbie-doll girl, or how did that all start with you loving cars?
Yeah, I don't think I ever actually owned a Barbie doll. That was never my thing. I was never into that. We had a Barbie car that I used to drive around, like one of those electric cars, and it was a Barbie Jeep, and that's the car I drove around. And it's kind of funny because my sister actually had a truck and I had a little Barbie Jeep. And then when we got our first real cars at 16, I had a truck and she had a Jeep. So it was kind of funny. But it was always racing for us. You know, there's pictures of both my sister and I at the races when we're shorter than the race car and we're, holding dad's trophy or, sitting on the ground next to my papa on the floor or on the, the asphalt, just playing with rocks or, there's a picture of me sitting on the floor in the trailer with a spark plug box that we still use today. So it's definitely always been racing. It was never anything that was forced upon us by any means. We got to choose. We did regular sports growing up. We did the volleyball, softball, gymnastics, all of the, typical sports you do as a kid. And then we also mixed in racing, but racing was always our heart.
Yeah. So what was the first thing that you drove?
First thing that
as far as racing?
Oh, as far as racing, a junior dragster. So we drove, both my sister and I started racing in this little tiny red junior dragster. It was a small thing. It had a yellow nose cone. It had like little flames on it and then a red race car. And I started my career in that and my sister started her career in that race car as well. And she did so good. I won a couple races in that race car. She absolutely killed it in that race car. She reset the points record her first year in the division, like the points. Yeah, she got the highest points total by far ever in a junior drag racing league. And my papa said there's no way we're selling that race car. So we didn't. We have it in a shadow box with, there's a couple magazines that she was on the front cover of because she did so good. And the magazine, I think it was called Red Hot or something like that. But we got it in a shadow box. It's up in the rafters at Morro Bay Cabinets. And I don't think it's ever coming down.
No. There's some things that I don't care how valuable they are, maybe in monetary dollars, that are so much more valuable in memories and all that you just can't let go.
You just can't let go. I mean, it's something that it started both of our careers. And I mean, obviously we hope to race the rest of our lives. And that was the beginning. And my grandpa was like, there's no amount of money that you can pay to get rid of this race car. So we still got it.
That's so fun. And so you went from that car probably to a different junior dragster. Tell me the progression to get where you are today.
Yeah, so started out in that little red junior dragster and aged out of that race car and went to, let's see, what was that car? I believe that I jumped into a half-scale race car, and I drove that for a couple years until my sister needed a new car because she was aging out of that car. I mean, obviously, we're kids, we're growing up, and
right.
There's only so long you can fit in this tiny car, and you need a bigger car. There's nothing you can do about it,
Right.
So at the time, I was always kind of bigger, broader shoulders than Macy was. So the car that I was in, I was like, my shoulders were too wide to fit in the car. So she got the car I was racing, and then I got a different car with a wider cage on it. And both those race cars that we were in, we actually finished out our junior careers in. So I believe I raced that next car. It was a Mike Boss car. I raced that car for, I believe it was 7 or 8 years. And then she had that half scale car for 7 or 8 years. And in the middle of that, when we both turned 14, we also got a junior comp car, which is a bigger, it's like halfway, it's a lot closer to a junior dragster, but it's about like halfway between a super comp and a junior dragster, kind of. But it's still a lot smaller than a super comp car. And those have our race cars had Hayabusa engines in them, so they shifted 5 times in a 1/8 mile, which is a lot. but really cool. We got to learn a lot about motorcycle engines and clutches and shifting and all that kind of stuff. And we were going faster too. So that was really cool. I raced those for about 4 years. And we almost sold our whole operation to one family, which was pretty cool. We did sell one of our race cars, one of our 4 race cars to one family, and then 3 of our race cars and a lot of our parts went to another family, which was really cool because we've been able to track all of our race cars and with families that we know pretty well. So that's been really cool to watch their progression. And we actually did some consulting for one of the families who kind of, wanted to learn the race cars more and learn about bracket racing. So we got to kind of help them out. They were some young kids, and it was really, really cool to be able to help out the next generation of racers. But moving on, we went to Super Comp, and I drove Super Comp for a year and then essentially sat out for about a year because I was training to get in the Alcohol Funny car. And in that time, my sister drove Super Comp, and we also got a top dragster as well. And then I jumped into the Alcohol Funny car, and that was, just such a dream, getting to race for my family, drive a race car that I've been around my whole life and had, been full-time crewing on for 4 years prior to that. So just a really very exciting career step. And, it really evolved my career because without that step, I never could have made it to Top Fuel. And so that was a really big deal, and a lot of amazing memories made with my family, with the fans, our sponsors, some tough lessons too. Of course, you're going to have
Right.
Every day at the racetrack is a great day because there's nowhere else I'd rather be, but there are a lot of tough days out there too. But it's still better than being home.
Yeah, for sure. Let's stop there for just a second. Why, when I interview gals, I always say it's the one sport that going in, you're going to lose more than you're going to win.
Yeah.
And so when you have those tough days, Maddie, and I know you still have them, you're going to have them all your life. That's just life, isn't it? What do you do? How do you handle that? How would you tell another young girl that's going through some tough times? How do you handle that to keep yourself motivated to keep going?
Well, that's really something that I learned in junior dragsters. And I mean, in full seriousness, we took junior drag racing just as seriously as we take alcohol funny car racing. I mean, we lived, breathed, and ate for that. I mean, I would get so nervous running the junior dragster when we were going up for championships. I wouldn't even eat. Like, I would make myself sick because I wasn't eating, and because I'm just so nervous. It means so much to me. And so that's something that I really learned as a young kid through the junior drag racing program. And that's why it's so, I speak so highly of it, because it teaches you things that you can use through your entire career. Right. But the tough days, it's part of it. I mean, of course, we all wish it wasn't part of it, but it is. It's part of it. And that's what makes winning so special, is those tough days and those tough moments. Like, everybody makes mistakes. I wish I was perfect. I'm not perfect, but I work so hard to be as perfect as I possibly can be. I don't know whose quote it was, and if I knew, I would quote them or say their name, but racing is a never-ending strive for perfection, but you try to catch excellence along the way, because you're never going to be perfect, but you always want to strive and catch that excellence. And for me, it was in the alcohol funny car, and it was actually my mom who taught me this, but I would always focus so much on the negative. On every run, I would come back and focus on, what did I do wrong? How can I do better? Like, I did this wrong and this wrong. And I really started to get down on myself. And my mom one day, she says, "Do you do anything right?" And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, like I shifted good, and I left with a good RPM. And she's like, "Okay, do you ever focus on the good things?" And I'm like, well, I never really thought about that. Because I was just too hyper focused on, like, I did this wrong, I need to do this better and this better. And it was honestly that moment that really helped. It was a big deal in my career, because of course, you know, on each run, it's never perfect, but I always want to take a positive and a negative. I want to diagnose the run, which I do, whether it's a qualifying run, whether it's a test run, whether it's a race day, whatever it is. I diagnose every single run. What was my light? Why did I have a good light or why did I have a bad light? You know, where was my head at? Was I distracted? Why was I distracted? How can I make myself better? Or I'll always say, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with my reaction time, but I wish I worked on this. Or so I'm always trying to build myself up, but also give myself constructive criticism to kind of make myself a better driver. And I think that's really how I personally get through those tough days at the racetrack, because I'm always finding a positive in every round, because there is always a positive. And if you can't find a positive, then the positive is that you got to race a race car. So there's always a positive, and that's really how I get through those tough days, is finding the good things in a potentially bad situation.
See, I love that, because as a human, we tend to focus on the negative.
Yes.
About whatever the situation is. And so if we would all learn to find, 3 or 5 positive things, the negative things don't seem to matter as much, because you're like, oh, I did do these things right. Now I just need to work on this. And so I love that, Maddi. That's great. So I don't know where we were at in the story, but just continue with wherever you feel like going.
Okay. Yes. I'll call funny car, race with my family, driving for 2 years. So I was a full-time crew member on my dad's car for 6 years, 4 years not driving, 2 years driving. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunities that they provided my sister and I, and changed my life truly in the best way possible. And then 2026, this year, is my first year as a professional race car driver. And my days at the racetrack look a lot different. Although I'm still at a drag strip, they are much different. I used to be covered, fingertips to elbows to, everywhere. Clutch dust, oil, you name it, I got it. And my roles really changed. And I don't have a primary role on the race car as far as working on it maintenance-wise, but it is so important to me that I understand the race car, what's happening. I want to understand every part, and it doesn't happen in a day. But Ron made it very clear to me in the beginning that as a professional race car driver, my priorities are different, and it's not having a maintenance job on the race car. There's a lot of other things I'm doing, and I am like slammed busy. But I always try to take that extra time when I have it to learn about the race car. And that's one thing that I'm so fortunate about with our team. They understand how important it is for me to understand the race car that I'm driving and how much I love the mechanics. So anytime I have a spare minute, you will catch me either looking at the race car, talking to somebody on our team, in the race trailer, learning about a clutch, learning about the blower, in Rob's and Troy's lounge, learning about tune-up, whatever it might be, because that is my heart. That is truly, my heart is not just in the driver's seat. Like, my heart lies in the entire race car itself, from that front wing to the wheelie bar. That is my heart right there. It's not just the driver's seat. And I've always said from the very beginning, since I've been driving junior dragsters at 8 years old, I never want to just be a driver. I want to be part of the team. And I mean that fully. And I'm very grateful that my team allows me that space to kind of be as involved as I possibly can be, with all the other obligations that I have. And I love my new role. I'm learning as I go. I absolutely love it. I truly do. There's so much to learn in this sport, and that's what I love, because you're never done learning. So, love this new role that I get to do. And I also love that I get to learn about the race car when I have extra time. But my first year as a professional, with, Carlisle Tools, Napa Auto Parts as our primary sponsors. And we got a lot of, Monster Energy who helps us out. Of course, they've been absolutely wonderful to have. And a lot of small partners that help, get us to where we are. And it's been a wonderful season so far.
Oh, you've had an amazing season. Why don't you share a little bit about what successes you've had this season? Can you remember everything?
Yes, I definitely can. I do not have memory loss when it comes to what happens at the racetrack. I have memory loss when it comes to what I ate yesterday, but
Yeah.
not at the racetrack. Yeah, it's been a wonderful season to come out. Our first race out in Gainesville, make it to the semifinals. That was monumental.
Yes.
We put together this team. Ron Capps, of course, spearheading all of it, and we've got Rob Flynn, Troy Fashing, two very well-known crew chiefs in our industry. So, it's been an absolute blessing to have them on board. We got Truck Grosspitch. He was the car chief at JFR, and he's been just amazing to have. He was actually done drag racing. He was done. He was getting out. I'm not sure what he wanted to do, but he was out of drag racing, and then we wrangled him back in, and I'm so glad that he decided to come back, because he's been so wonderful to have, as well as everybody else on our team. We've got a team of 9 guys who some of them brand new to Top Fuel Racing, some of them experienced from other teams, but everybody gels and meshes so well together. I love my team. I was gone for 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks off, and by the first week, I'm like, man, I miss my people. Like, these guys are my family, and I spend more time with them than I do my actual family. Yeah. And they really have become my family. And when I'm not with them, I miss them. Like, they're my people. And so it's really cool to have that camaraderie with a team, and Ron's team as well. I know he feels the same way, but yeah, so it's been great. Of course, Norwalk was monumental. Getting the first win for myself, as long as, our first win together as a team. Right. Ron winning, so we have our first team double up, and my dad, my whole family was there. It's like the triple crown, you could call it.
It was perfect. It was just perfect. Yeah.
It was just perfect. That's the way to put it.
Yeah. Now, your family's still in California. They're obviously still running a business in that. So I know they can't be at every race, but are they able to come to quite a few, or do they have to watch you on TV like I watch you?
So my dad runs 10 national events, and of course, wherever my dad's racing, my family's there. My mom, my dad, my sister, Jake, Macy's boyfriend, and then my grandma and my grandpa. They're the crew members on the Alcohol Funny car. So they run 10 national events. Of course, we're at all the national events, and then they run 5 regional events, which are separate races. And then my sister also drives, of course, too. So she runs 6 to 8, about 8, maybe 10, 8 to 10 events a year as well. 2 of them are nationals, and then the other 8 are not nationals. So they have a full schedule as it is. And so they're at 12 of the races I'm at, and then 8 of the races, 8 to 9, they're not at. So, about just a little less than half they're not at. So I couldn't have imagined winning our first race without my family there. So I'm very, very blessed and happy that they were there to experience that with me.
Yeah, that was, like I said, it couldn't have been a more perfect day. The fact that they're there, because I'm a Carson Hocevar fan. Of course, he's from Michigan. He's from my town. I've known him since he was little, and his parents were not at Talladega when he won.
Oh no!
His dad was actually sick and was in bed asleep.
Oh.
But and they go to so many races. Yeah. But it's just, so it could have been the same for you, but the fact that they're there and such great memories. Isn't that just one of the things about being a racing family? You have so many memories going back to when you had that first red little junior sprint with the yellow front, right? Yeah. You can think of so many things, and you'll have those forever. And that's just so special.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's, drag racing, I truly believe brings families together. It really does. And that's something that you see in the junior drag racing league a lot. You see you see families out there
Mm-hmm.
competing when most kids want nothing to do, not most, but
A
a
lot.
lot of teenagers and kids are like, I don't want to spend the weekend with my parents.
Right.
Like, I mean, you get them involved in junior drag racing and whatever it is, whatever sport it might be, whatever volleyball, softball, whatever. Everything's great. I think it's, in my opinion, I've heard my parents say it a lot, and that's where I'm getting this from. But you just, in my opinion, you want whoever it is, whether you're a kid, whether you're a teenager, whether you're 12, whatever age, you just want to be passionate about something. You want to have a purpose. You want to have a passion. You want to have something to strive for. And for my family, it's always been drag racing. And that's, my sister and I, especially being from a small town, More Bay Cabinets is my family's company, and we don't do any advertising. Everything is word of mouth. So my sister and I always took great pride in having the Gordon name. And whether we were at the grocery store, whether we were at a prom or school, we always want to represent ourselves the best, because in return, it represents my family and our company and our last name and all that. So we always wanted to be good kids, but drag racing is also like that carrot, that dangling carrot. And it's kind of like, you got to keep good grades. You got to be a good kid. You got to be polite, because at the end of the day, if you're not, you're probably not going to get to race. And
Right.
that was like, oh my gosh, like just tunnel visioned on whatever we have to do to race. And so that was always our purpose and our passion was racing.
Yeah, and I have to give your parents kudos, because they brought you up right in the fact that you have to be polite. You're representing our name, our business, and a lot of kids don't think about that. And maybe that's not a priority in their household to be taught that, but that carries on a legacy for your family, and it's very important. And so, good job. Give your parents a pat on the back for that, for sure.
I will. I'll let them know.
So when you went to school, what did other kids think about you and your sister racing? Did they think it was weird? Was it just something they always knew that you did? What was the reaction?
Coming from a small town, at least most of the school faculty knew, because we were gone a lot, and they really understood, and we made sure to keep everybody very involved as far as what we're doing, why we're doing it, what it's for. We're not skipping school to, go play at whatever at the park. We're with our family. We're learning. We're, all this stuff. We're advancing our careers. So at first, I think they were kind of like, I don't know about this. You're missing a lot of school. And, we got the SARB letters and all that kind of stuff, but we always had good grades. I was an A to B student. Macy was a straight A student. And so we always had good grades. We were always polite. We were never tardy. So in general, the staff really, they all liked it. They really did. They thought it was cool and stuff like that. And the kids and stuff, honestly, we didn't really talk about it all that much, because I don't know. I was never the kind of person who wanted to boast or, hey, look at me, look at my race car, all that stuff. I kind of likes to keep it a little bit low key and just kind of hang out with my friends and have a good time, and then go race on the weekends. And but most people knew that we did that, because they're wondering why we're gone. And then I would, I might post something every once in a while on my Instagram or my social media. But yeah, everybody was very supportive. They thought it was cool, and we just were the kids that raced. It was not that it was normal, but everybody was very supportive.
Yeah. And really, for you guys, it was normal, because it had been going on for so long. Excuse me, that by the time you got into school, you were already had a pattern of racing. And so it was just what you did on the weekends. Like some people have a boat and they go to the lake, right? Yeah. It's just kind of what you did. Yeah.
Just kind of what we did. It was our thing. And, we'd done it since we were 8 years old, so we didn't really know any different.
No, that's for sure. So if you had to choose one thing, and I know this is hard, one thing about racing and how it's changed you as a person, Can you think? And it could be more than one thing. But how has being involved in racing changed you that maybe wouldn't have happened had you not been involved?
Oh gosh. I don't even imagine my life without racing.
Okay.
I really don't. It's kind of funny. Like, it wasn't but a couple weeks ago that my mom and I were at lunch and we were talking about racing, and my mom is abundantly supportive. She is so supportive. She doesn't drive race cars. She just never wants to drive a race car. She didn't do this as a kid. She essentially like married my dad and got into racing because of my dad. But you know, when this Top Fuel ride came about, it was a year and a half in the works, and Ron never wavered on if it was going to happen. He's like, this is going to happen and we're going to figure out how to do it. But when we got signed contracts, my dad told my mom to prepare. He said, hey, prepare yourself because this is really going to happen now. And she had a tough time with it. She really did. And I didn't know this. I had no idea until a couple weeks ago. But she basically, you know, she's a mom, of course, and wants the best for me. And there could be potential negatives just because you're in a public light, and you know, of course, there's haters, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and they're more than welcome to have their own opinion. And that's okay. But it can be tough, you know, at times if you don't have thick skin. And so my mom, you know, got really nervous about that kind of stuff. But she said that you know, she really thought a lot, and she's like, man, you know, you were born to race. She said, since you were a kid, all you've cared about is racing. And it has never wavered. She's like, you get in that race car and there's a different look in your eye. Like, I know you. She's like, I know you in every aspect of your life. I know you at the lake. I know you at the house. I know you on the road. I know you in your race car. And she's like, you are the happiest person in the world. Whoops. The dog's barking.
That's okay.
You're the happiest person in the world in your race car. And so to answer your question, I mean, racing has shaped me into the person that I am today. I don't know where I would be or who I would be without it. Racing is a part of me, and it's formed me into how I act on a regular day. You know, I don't really know how to answer that exactly, but it's part of me.
Well, and so that's interesting, and I love that about you, Maddi, because you're the whole. I don't want to say package. You're the whole person is about racing, and it's just like your mom said. It's in you. It's not about you. Somebody didn't write about it. Somebody didn't coerce you to do it. It's inside of you, and what you do and how you share it with the big smile on your face and the eyes that light up. It's obvious the passion that you have for what you're doing. And if people can't see that and they want to be haters, let them be haters, because
I will say though, I would say, I mean, I've been very fortunate. There has been so much positivity. I really have been very fortunate. So that was something that my mom was nervous about in the beginning because we just didn't know how things were going to go. But I will say I've been very fortunate to have a lot of positivity. Almost no hate, if any. People have been very, very supportive, and I am very grateful for that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that because I follow you closely, and I don't see people picking on you or why, you know, she doesn't belong there, none of that, because it's obviously a sport that is part of you. You're going to be successful at it for a long time ahead, and this is just the beginning, and I'm just so excited for you. I love when I see gals that I followed when they were younger, you know, or followed a little bit because you weren't in the spotlight like you are now, obviously, but yet I knew who you were, and I was following and would see how you were doing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, you know, Maddi's right there. She's at the top, and then you win. And it's just it's like a parent from afar, Maddie. You've got a
Oh,
lot of support. You've got a lot of supporters
I
that you
appreciate
don't
that very
that you
much.
don't even know, I think, for sure. So your social media is a big part of what you do, as we talked about. What's the best place to follow how what you're doing, where you're going to be racing, how things went?
Yeah, so we have Ron Capps Motorsports and myself, Maddi Gordon Racing. We have it on Instagram and Facebook, as well as X, Maddi Gordon TF, and then Ron Capps Motorsports on that as well.
Okay.
And that would definitely be the best places to follow us. We post race results through the weekends, and then, of course, some fun content in between. I know we got some fun ideas coming up for
Oh,
Seattle,
good.
so check
Oh,
those
that
out.
okay.
Yep, so got some fun stuff coming up, and very active on our social medias.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that you are. So, I know I promised you about 30 minutes because I know you're busy. So, a couple things I want to mention. One, Shannon Spake has a podcast. I think it's called Sons and Daughters, or Daughters and Sons, one or the other. It's a great podcast, and you were just on that. So, I want to encourage everybody to take a listen to that. And then the final thing I want to ask you, I'm working on a project that hasn't been announced yet, but one of the things it's going to be is legacies. Women who leave a legacy. So let's imagine, Maddie, it's 100 years from now, and some little girl is looking up who was successful in drag racing, and she finds your name, and she reads about you. And what would be one of the things, if you could say something to her, what would you say to her, uh, you know, that would encourage her to become involved in racing?
Oh, to be involved in racing?
Or, or life, whatever. What's something you would say to that little girl?
Yeah, I would say never dream too big. Because I mean, anything. I believe anything is possible if you work really hard, but you have to have good supportive people around you. That's so important because obviously none of this is possible without Ron Capps taking a total a shot on me, and Carlisle Tools, Napa Auto Parts believing in me, Monster Energy, all of our amazing partners. None of this is possible without them, and none of it's possible without our fans. Without our fans, we couldn't be out here. There'd be no reason to be out here.
Right.
So there's so much that's really important to get to this level, but never dream too big. I personally believe a dream is just a thought unless you put the work in for it. But yeah, the world is your oyster. So you only live once.
I've got a good quote to share with you, and I saw it on Brad Kozlowski's page, but I'm not sure he was the one that said it. It says, if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough.
Yep, I've heard that too. That's a pretty good one. That's a really good one.
I like that one. Well, yes. Maddie, I'm so excited that we got to connect today. I just want to wish you all the luck in the world. And we know it does take luck, it takes skill, and it takes hard work. And you've got all those going for you. And so congratulations on what you're up to. What's your next race coming up so we can make sure we watch?
Yep, we've got Seattle coming up here. We actually leave tomorrow morning. We fly out there. So the Pacific Northwest Nationals. So so we'll be heading out there tomorrow and got some exciting stuff coming up. So Seattle's been good to my family and I, and so we're definitely hoping to channel some of that good energy and hopefully have a good weekend.
Yeah, I hope you do too. I'll be watching. I'll be checking out to see what you're up to. So any last words that you want to share, Maddie, before we go?
I think we covered a lot of it, and I appreciate you having me on, and looking forward to the rest of the season for sure.
Sounds good. We'll have to have you on after the season's over and kind of do a recap.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thanks again, Maddie, and you have a great weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Your sponsors fuel your season, so show them some love with send-out cards. Snap a race day photo, write a quick thank you, and send a digital card straight from your phone, tablet, or laptop. It's personal, professional, and just $10 a month for unlimited sends. Gratitude goes a long way, especially in racing. So get started at sendoutcards.com/53240. That's sendoutcards.com/53240.
Start your engines. This is the Women's Motor Fun Network. From dirt track nights to the bright race lights.